So there was one other area with the Rainbow Blob that I did not remember. It's just as well because there's a champion monster that direction. So since I'm now going on champion hunt, that makes it good for this kind of episode. I can sense a very powerful presence in this room. It's a champion monster, but it's even stronger than regular champion monsters. Be prepared. Speaking of champions, if we go to team, it's unfortunate that, I guess, I understand that the window is only a certain size, but there's a text limit on your team names, and I find that not very good. Alright, so we got a dude who's weak to wind. Do that. I mean, I should just probably break up my normal team. This should be fine. This should be fine. Oh wow, he's not gonna do well against me. I mean, he does use fire, which is gonna make Kavoris weak. So maybe Kavoris and Emperor? Jeez. To get to the next one, I need to claim this Vodanoy guy. How does he do so much damage compared to the Mad Lord? So this party could still be improved if I made them 2 light mushrooms. But this is my new auxiliary squad. I saw a Steam post on an easy way to get 6 stars, so we're gonna go and use it. I have tried to modify it a little more. For example, putting the owl guys in there, but the mushrooms actually do better because of their dominant skill, which gives you increased damage per enemy debuff. So the more debuffs the enemy has, the more severe my hits will be. There we go, 5 stars. So now I have a Vodanoid egg. I don't know what to name it, I'll come up with something later. Same thing for the Mad Lord, I haven't named it yet. This is the Vodanoid, let's take a look at what he features. Most importantly, he features an exploration skill so I can unlock more stuff. But let's take a look at this. The fish monsters do more damage, he gets health. He makes people bleed. Increases critical chance, makes people bleed. More mana. Okay, splatter, that's cool. And deep wounds. I kind of wonder, does he have that ability? Scent of blood, wow. This dude is a very, very good bleed monster. The next time I attempt a bleed build, I'll probably be leading that team. Out of curiosity, let's take a look to see Shift Stone. I'm not gonna actually shift him right now, but I want to see what he could get. Assault Shield. Okay, that's unfortunate. And Eternal Heart. Monsters max health and mana are increased by 12% each. Shield by 25% damage up to enemies. What do you get? When an allied monster applies a debuff, it has a 60% chance to get a random buff. The monster may apply an additional stack of any debuff. Okay. Alright, yeah, I was hoping he had Bleed Out. In the top left of the snowy region, if you have the Illusion guy, or at least that's what I'm assuming this is going to be. Oh, just bounced my head into another one. Oh, come on! Goodbye, cruel world. You have fulfilled your destiny, and so have I. The Sanctuary will continue on for many years. Perhaps destiny will make use of me again in the far future. She disappears. Alright. There you are, Spectral Keeper. I don't know if I'd let her reach you, but I was waiting for you. During my investigations, I searched the Sanctuary for areas that might be prone to demonic influence. I think I found such an area here in the Stronghold Dungeon. I came to a suspicious room with nothing in it but 6 illuminated fireplaces in the wall. Suddenly, a skeletal claw reached out after me out of thin air. I ran as fast as I could, and I fear I lost all orientation at that point. I believe that it must have been an Azarek. They are said to be demons that watch over us from another world. They try to eliminate any knowledge we have about the other worlds. You could say that I was playing with fire since I came there carrying a copy of the rare Ahermaya, the ancient tome of demons. It's written in a dead language that very few people in the world can still read. I believe that the veil that separates our world from other worlds is dangerously thin in the room that I discovered. I'd even wagered that room was created for the explicit purpose of summoning otherworldly monsters. So when I came there carrying the Ahermaya, the Azarek must have sensed the written knowledge. That's quite a coincidence. That's why I eagerly awaited the moment you'd come here. Take this! Obtained the Ahermaya. Now, if the Azrak still senses us, it will come after you instead of me. But I'd wager that you'd have to go to that same room that I discovered earlier in order to attract the Azrak again. It shouldn't be too far from this teleporter stone. I'm sure that you can deal with it, Spectral Keeper. Come back here after you've defeated that monster. I might have another hint for you about another elusive monster. I'm assuming it's that circle in the distance of my mini-map. I kinda remember this now. I can sense a very powerful presence in this room. It's a champion monster, but it's even stronger than regular champion monsters. Be prepared. If I don't get it this time, I'm sure if I try several times, I will eventually get a 6 stars. So if I don't get it here, I'll just go back to the tower and attack him until I get the randomly good hit and damage rolls. Wow, see, he just missed a ton right there. Good enough for 5 stars, though. Magic plus 10, health plus 100. Allow this monster to receive an additional stack of sorcery plus a channel. And, of course, the Azrak egg. Like the previous one, worry about naming it later. So let's take a look. We get darkness, non-crits, more darkness, magic. I mean, there's a theme, he's nice, but right now I don't have a place for him in my group. You took care of that Azrak, didn't you? Good job. Thanks to you, I don't have to worry about that demon coming after me ever again. Take this reward. You're trying to become a Keeper Master. I have another hint for you for a possible champion monster. Did you perhaps come across a strange room in a mystical workshop with a giant clock? It's not an ordinary clock. It harbors a hidden portal to another world. Based on my experiments, the veil of our world weakens when the hour hand is very close to 11 o'clock, and when the minute hand is at 5 minutes. Therefore, the veil should break if you set the time for 5 minutes past 11 o'clock. You might very well get attacked by another powerful otherworldly monster if you do that. Good luck! There's a room in the mystical workshop with a giant clock. If you set the time for 5 minutes past 11 o'clock, you should encounter another powerful or otherworldly monster. If you become Keeper Master, don't forget about this old alchemist who helped you along the way, alright? The most elusive prey to. According to Trevisan, we might encounter another otherworldly champion monster if we follow his instructions. He told us that we need to find a room in the mystical workshop with a giant clock. Inside that clock room, we are supposed to set the time for 5 minutes past 11 o'clock. According to his theory, the veil that separates our world from other worlds should break if we do that. Alright, I'll go ahead and do it this way, just because to unlock more content, which is dialogue. But I will say that it only bothers me just a little bit. I'm OCD that way. But when I defeat these monsters, in the Champion's Tower, they show up in the order I've defeated them in. So for example, it shows up King Blob, and then the Mad Lord, and then the Vodanoid last, and now it's going to be Azrak last, so it's all out of order. So this next one that's in my glossary is supposed to be a plant monster. This clock monster, I think, is this one down here. So it's going to be all out of order some more. Still, because I am recording this, and people want to see dialogue and stuff, I will fight the clock monster and drive myself crazy. Now, earlier I turned away because I just randomly got treasure. He said 5 minutes past 11, but I do want to see what happens if I flip it to 9 o'clock. Hour 9 minute 0. Nothing. Okay. So he said 11 Load team, Team Toxin, which is the same team, just reversed, and the equipment is better on these first three. Oh, this is interesting. Alright, he missed quite a bit there. Works for me. Hourglass. Age stacked of allied monsters are 33% more effective. So anytime you get a 6-star, you get basically reward boxes. Nothing important, because you can get plenty of them from the Infinity Tower. So he's got fire, frost, more fire, neutral, water. Alright, another very, very versatile person, but the way the game is set up, being versatile doesn't help you that much, because the enemy tends to be static, and you get rewarded for overpowering them, not for being adaptable. You get basically more rewards for being focused on any one given ability. Well, here's what I mean. So like for these worms, for example, if I wanted to get higher stars on a champion monster, I'd be best off going ahead and picking up all these and then fighting the monster. If I miss, that's fine. I don't get a good star. It's okay. And I just do it until I hit him and then he dies. So I get all of these, get this, and then hit him with explosion. That's probably what you would do if you wanted the highest rating on stuff, is basically go be gambling. Alright, so we've got the Vertag, or whatever it's called. Yeah, the Vertrag. We'll leave the clock there so the demon can enter the world. Back for more, huh? Let me think. Did I come across any other traces of champion monsters? There was another smaller tower in the Sun Palace, high in the air. It was near the eastern entrance. I could spot a large monster sitting atop the highest platform, eagerly basking in the sun. Champion hit 6. Trevisan told us about a large monster hiding on a platform high in the sky in the Sun Palace near the eastern entrance. So in the Sun Temple, in the northeastern part of it, ow, that really hurt him. My Thorn Tendril, apply a bleed stack on attackers equal to this monster's attack or magic, whichever is higher. Okay, whatever. And a Diavola egg. Alright, let's see what he's got for skills. Unsurprisingly, Earth, Bleed, Devour, Fire. Okay, that might come in handy if I want to use him instead of the Mad Lord. Let's see what else he's got. Each nature monster gains a random buff. When getting hit, 35% chance to apply bleed. Alright, it's okay. Let's see what these guys would get if I were to shift them. I'm not going to shift them, just like before. I'm just going to take a look at them. But we've got the choice between Enlighten, which is 60% chance to share a buff with an ally, or 40% chance to spread a debuff to an enemy. Also, don't forget the stat changes. So, for example, this light-shifted Diavola gets more magic power, whereas the dark-shifted gets an even balance of attack and magic. Anyways, their passive is Mass Mystify. Allied monster gets 60%. Bleed Out. That's the one I was looking for. If this guy had Bleed Out for his ability, that would be incredible. But, I mean, maybe the Critical Shield is better. Alright, to the next monster. Back for more, huh? Let me think. Did I come across any other traces of champion monsters? There was a sealed off path in the magma chamber in one of the eastern rooms, close to the magma. I could hear a very peculiar monster sound coming from behind that large boulder that sealed off the path. Champion Hunt 7. Trevorson told us about a monster sealed away in one of the eastern rooms of the magma chambers. It should be one of the lower rooms, close to the magma. Alright, in the eastern part of the magma chambers, this is where we'll finally use this trident dude. Levitate. Okay, I kind of wondered if it would fall and crush me. I like the look of this thing. When I first saw a picture of it, I thought it was the evolved form of my Spectral Eagle. Wow, I didn't really do a lot of poisoning on him that time. So I will probably not be 6-starring him this time around. But anyway, all I have to do is just go back to the champion tower and hit him until I can poison him enough on the first round. Oh, whatever. Achievement Lock, Champion of Champions. Achievement Lock, Legend of the Sanctuary. So we've got Spark, Defense +8, Mana Regeneration +8, when getting attacked, 25% chance to apply Burn, and the Griffonix egg. Griffinix? I'm just gonna say Griffinix. As in Griffin. More Griffin than Phoenix. You send it to Keeper Master rank. New items available at traders. Attached to the baby. Achievement Lock, gotta hatch them all. Guess that's it then. Yep, I got them all. Take a look at what skills we got. Okay, more wind skills. Okay. Some healing abilities. More healing abilities. He's really like a super form of the Spectral Eagle. Speaking of which, I should now be able to get all the starter monsters. When you defeat all the champions, I don't think you have to 5-star them all. When you defeat all the champions, you get the starter monsters. I'm not exactly sure where. I've just heard that you get the starter monsters. You become a Keeper Master. Congratulations. I don't think I know about any other hidden champion monsters. I'd wager you're ready to defeat them all. Let's see what kind of new items we got. Same thing. Same thing. Maybe the impact ring is new. I don't know. Actually, while we're here, I should go ahead and smith those new items. So in case you're wondering how to find them, they're always going to be the last added item of that tier. So for example, the Griffonics I just defeated gave me the spark, and I defeated a plant before that and so forth. So these are all the most recently added items. And so that's how this thing is sorted. So for example, you see an accessory here and a weapon here. It's just, this is all the tier 0 stuff. I'll go ahead and max out all of this stuff. Trident, Tarot card, Hourglass, Dendro, Spark. Trident, Tarot card, Hourglass, Dendro, Spark. Trident, Tarot card, Hourglass, Dendro, Spark. Tarot card. Alright, now let's take a look at them. Okay, weapons. We got the Trident, which gives me 220 physical attack, 50 defense, 600 health, 70 mana. Thor and Tendro, 230 each physical and magic attack, 8% critical chance, and bleed. For accessories, we've got Tarot card, 60 magic, 500 health. Gives this monster the option to get a sorcery and channel stack. Hourglass plus 5, health 400, mana 35, and age is 33% more effective. Spark, 40 defense, 25 mana regeneration, and 35% chance to burn the attacker. Alright, I guess we are done. The only thing left for me to do is 6-star all the champion monsters, and I'm not really worried about making an episode for that, because all it's going to be is just this. Challenge them, and just spam the attack until I eventually get 6 stars. Like this. Okay, there we go. Oh, whatever. Forget about the Phoenix thing. Go away. And that could have happened the first time I fought it. I just didn't luck out on my my poison stacks. That's all I gotta do for that. Oh, and before I go, in case you did want to see what these guys are like, here's their gear real quick. The reason why I suggest having 2 light mushrooms is if you're fighting a champion, you don't need to try to spread a debuff to another enemy. You only fight one champion at a time, thankfully. So in that case, get Supremacy instead. By the time you're trying to 5-star all these final champions, you should hopefully have all this gear by now. Unfortunately, I don't have any idea where you can get the gear. I've been slowly accumulating all this stuff throughout the game. When I first started, I don't even think the Blue Caves existed. Maybe it did, I don't remember. But that's how long ago this game has been for me. I don't really have a whole lot to say about their skills, other than the fact that since I do have a Dark Mushroom, I leverage more of his attack bar since he's beefier than the Light Mushroom. For example, you'll notice that I do not have Poisoned Nerves on him. The unique auras I have on the Light Mushroom, the weaker one. The difference between their skills, other than the fact that I spend 2 points on the unique auras on this one, I take away Poison Bomb level 5 for the light one so that he can get health here. Remember that health allows him to get more damage. So for me, that's worth it, because you'll notice that when I'm doing these fights, I'm not actually really using Poison Bomb. It's really only there for me to get to these bottom rows. I use Beating so that I can apply Weakness, so that I can apply Toxin, 10% chance with 8 hits. I'm not really using it for the extra 25% damage I could use with Poison Bomb. So yeah, I sacrifice Poison Bomb level 5 in order to get health plus, so I can leverage these two. So the Dark one, so back to the first one, Dark one, I give him Combo Initiator. So when he acts first with his higher offense power, he will do 25% more damage and do an additional 25% hit. That's the difference between the two. Whereas the second one has the unique auras, the first one has Poison Bomb level 5 and Combo Initiator. They both have Slimeageddon. So on the second round, I have Mykitas. My Dark one use Slimeageddon after he's built up those charges. So his Slimeageddon will do tons of damage. I mean, really the most of the damage comes from Jotnar, my gorilla guy. Because he has Poison Eater. Since I'm stacking 7 ranks of poison on the enemy, he's getting more hits. So that's pretty severe. And that's one of the reasons why I tried other monsters, like these the bird monsters. But they really weren't as effective in battle. Yeah, I tried building them pretty much the same way, but it just was not paying off. First off, his ultimates is not comparable, and he doesn't have various stacking abilities, such as, for example, he does have multi-poison, he doesn't have multi-weakness, which is okay. He doesn't have two of these dominant skills, which is enemies receive 3% increased damage for each debuff on them. Since I stack maybe like 7 poison debuffs, that's a 21% damage increase per dominance. And here's one dominance, and here's another dominance. So that's 42% right there. And that's just with poison. I'm also applying all this weakness. So, and then there's 2 of these mushrooms. That's basically my boss killing team right there. So that's it for Monster Sanctuary. This has been a really successful run. I've never really done anything like that, where I was playing an early access game for so long, then it gets released and suddenly everybody's watching it. That's been great. So I would like to thank everybody who's come by, been with me on this, 16-month journey. So thank you very much for watching Tran Wins Monster Sanctuary. It's been a pleasure being your host. I'll see you in the next series.